who is responsible for that, and pointing to the failure of the government, which is responsible for the collapse of the economy and everything that falls within that. And so this morning, we were supposed to be declaring Freedom Day, free from the encumbrances of the state of emergency, which will hamper us as trade unionists in performing our duty, representing not just our members, but representing the interests of the working class and the poor, the ordinary man, the unemployed, and everybody, and those without a voice. That is what they want to prevent. And this morning, notwithstanding that, we have sought and obtained permission from the police for the leadership, and I want to make that point absolutely clear, for the leadership of the trade union movement to represent those interests that I have just announced by a walk, a march from around West into Port of Spain, ending at Woodford Square. Let me reiterate that point, because there are those who would say we called out and we did not get a response. I'm taking in front before they say that. This walk this morning is for the leadership only. And insofar as that is concerned, we are satisfied that representing the top leadership of all the various unions, they are present here to walk in the interest of our members and everybody else. And so the extension of the state of emergency is for the government to continue its agenda unabated, its agenda for privatization of all of the public sectors, privatization of TSTT, privatization of NP, privatization of WASA, TNTEC, increase in food costs, increase in rates for electricity and water, increased taxes on the population. All of those things are going to come like a ton of brick in the next budget. And that is what they don't want us to stand up against. The increase in cost of fuel, you hear the Prime Minister justifying that as if subsidies where the ordinary citizen can benefit from that is a bad thing, that we must feel guilty that the price of gasoline in a gas-producing country is lower than others, and that the citizens are benefiting from it. We must feel guilty for that, and we must allow them to increase astronomically the price of fuel, gasoline, kerosene, dieseline, and also super gasoline and some premium gasoline. All of those things are going to add to the already burdened situation we have here in the country. So it is economic and social slavery. That is what we are facing, and those are the things that we are against, which is why we are taking the initiative, notwithstanding the extension of the SOE, to make this walk this morning. There are a number of other initiatives to come, all of which we are not at liberty at this point to say what they are, except to say all of them will be within the confines of the laws of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Constitution, all of the initiatives. But mark my word, there are a number of other initiatives to come. We cannot allow them to continue to do what they are about, which is against the interests of the people, without the voice of the trade union movement standing in defense of the people. And so this morning we have been given instructions from the police. We will be complying with the instructions of the police and all of the regulations of the Ministry of Health and the guidelines to ensure that we make our own contribution against the spread of COVID-19 in this country. But let me just end by saying that this is a runaway horse government. We are in a dictatorship. We are in a situation where those who were given the mandate to govern, they cannot govern in the interest of those who they ought to be governing for. They govern in the interest of the elites against the interests of everybody else. And all of those measures are going to further enslave the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And if it's one voice that will continue to be speaking of, it's the voice of the trade union movement. And that is what we are here as the leadership to do this morning. Thank you very much.
From a state, we love you. Send your children to school. Send your children. The trade union movement is here for you. Always remember that. Always remember. Always remember. Always remember. In despair, there is hope. Always remember that in disadvantaged behavior, you can be successful. It's how you think determine what you are. It's not what the politicians say. It's how you think as a human being will determine who and what you are. Always remember that. Regardless of how the odds are against you, your mind is your mind, and you can control how you think and what you do. So don't let them force you into thinking negativism. Let us be positive, Lavontaine. Let us be positive, become Excel, become Estate Government Primary School. All right, you're just...
It's a very short statement. First of all, I want to thank Almighty God for this day that He has made that allow us to come from Aranjuez into Port of Spain with a successful message and a successful freedom walk. Secondly, I want to thank the police, both arms of the police that started off with us in Aranjuez, and the police from Port of Spain that joined us somewhere along the road. And move up. We want to thank the police service, TTPS, for their stewardship and guidance here today. And through you, police officers, senior rank officers today, through you, we want to thank the Commissioner of Police for allowing us permission to work on this day. But I want to say that the march, the walk was successful. And I want to reiterate one point to the media. The media who looks after the interests of the minority. I want to say to you that this was not a march for thousands. This was not a march for our membership. That march will come. Yes. We complied with the requirement and the instructions of the police so that we could get our message out. And here's why it is successful. One, the leadership of the trade union movement in Trinidad and Tobago responded and walked from Aranjuez into Port of Spain, number one. Two, we carried our message clearly from Aranjuez into Port of Spain, where everybody heard the clear and concise message. And of course, we would have complied with all of the instructions and so on. Today, comrades, today is the start of a number of things to come. The government, Dr. Rowley's government, did not want us to be on the street. Dr. Rowley's government do not want us to speak out against the injustice, the tyranny, all of the injustice that is meted out to the people, the anti-worker, anti-union, anti-people measures. This is going to be one of the most draconian budgets unleashed on the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this budget that is going to come. Increase taxes in every form. Increase electricity rates, water rates. Increase costs for fuel, cost of gasoline, diesel, all of which will result in increased hardship for all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And while they do that, they want you to feel guilty for receiving a subsidy for which your land determined that you deserve to get as a people, that you deserve a just and fair share of the pie. So he wants you to feel guilty while he drives off in his high-end motor vehicle and does not pay tax. While he drives off in his high-end motor vehicle, does not pay customs and excise and duties on that vehicle. All of them, they have it easy, while the population have to bear the brunt of the sacrifice. So we say no to mandatory vaccination. We say no to vaccination, the vaccination requirement for children to go to school. We say no to that. And again, finally, as we disperse here, let us remember, let us begin to mobilize in each and every one of our units. in each and every one of our unions, in each and every one of our communities, to continue this fight back against this wicked and cruel, uncaring, and most of all disrespectful and arrogant government. They are the police. They are the police. They are the police with the chief bully himself, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much.
A young black man is shot in Laventille. But as soon as somebody in those higher, upper echelons of society, as soon as a crime is perpetrated against them, you see all the ministers running up in that part of Trinidad and Tobago and giving them condolence. That is what is happening. Right? We are all human beings, regardless of where you're born and where you come from. You have a right for a better Trinidad and Tobago. You have a right to proper education. You have a right to good health. It must not be confined and refined to those who have money. And that is what is happening in this country. That is what this march is all about, brothers and sisters. And this march is the leadership, not the workers. It is the leadership is marching because we thought it our sacred and moral and legal responsibility to come out and raise our voices in defense of the defenseless, in defense of the voiceless, in defense of the children, in defense of the poor, in defense of the disadvantaged in all the communities, in defense of the pensioners. That is what this is all about, brothers and sisters. We say in the trade union movement, enough, enough, enough is enough. Stop exploiting our people. Stop disrespecting our women. Folks, right? When you have thousands of people from the casino who cannot work and you're not supporting them and they have children to mind, those single mothers, what do you expect to happen? What kind of society are you building? And this same government who like to follow America, let them deny it that the casinos has been open. And if you look at the Forbes magazine, they will show you that the casinos in the United States bring in $7, $8, $9 million in tax. Why you don't want to open the casinos in Trinidad? Why are you stifling? Why are you stifling those single parents? Why? Why are you destroying them? This march is about what is right, brothers and sisters. You all can make a difference. Don't let them fool you all, you know. Brothers and sisters, you all can make a difference. Come and join the trade union movement. We have historically been the fighters in defense of what is right, and nothing has changed. And this march today demonstrates our love and our care for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We are marching in support. We know what has happened in KFC. We know the pressure that they give all year. We know when you come out to work, you don't get paid. If you reach late for 5 minutes, they want to discipline you. We know all them things, you know. And we will talk about that sooner or later, brothers and sisters. Sooner than later. Do not, my women of Trinidad and Tobago, do not be exploited. Stand up for what is right. Because there is no struggle without women and the and they do not contribute in no financial way to the drugs in Trinidad and Tobago. Do you believe that the little boy in Laventille or in Gonzales or in Point, you understand, could buy drugs in billions of dollars for it to sell in our country? Who benefits from the drug trade in this country to put food on the table? What kind of society, what kind of people are we dealing with? How people could be so insensitive? How people could be so insensitive, brothers and sisters? You understand? And remember, whole of justice, when the rain falls, it don't fall on one house, you know. Remember that, you know. You understand? Because those who are in those glass houses, those tin gods who believe that they are untouchable. I remind you, you have blood just like me. You have a nose just like me, a mouth just like me. You could talk just like me. And no matter what you do, you have to dead and go in the ground or burn. So you're no different to me. So fool yourself and believe, you understand, because you're in high society, that you could talk down to we the workers. Our day will come, brother. Our day will come. Our day will come. Our day will come, brothers and sisters. Remember that, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, I call on the youths. There is no future in drugs. Give up drugs. Give up this shooting, senseless one another, and killing our future and our youths. We know how the drug get in other communities. You understand? But out of evil cometh good. Always remember that. Always remember that. Always remember that, brothers and sisters. We in the trade union movement, we the leaders say no to mandatory vaccination. We say that the right to choose is a fundamental human basic right, and therefore you must not force people to take the vaccination. We are also saying, brothers and sisters, any government, any prime minister, any minister of health, any doctor who makes education a pandemic political football and divide our nation and our children education, they will live to regret it. Trust me, you cannot destroy the children. You cannot destroy the people, as the old people always say. Or you respect the children and the age. Remember that this government, remember that the business community. Birds fly high, very high, but all of them just have to come down on the ground and dead. Don't forget that, brothers and sisters. Don't forget that, brothers and sisters. And you the people remember that. As we come through Frederick Street, we call on each and every one of you all to remember that our success, to remember that all that we would afford for was for the benefit of the working class. Remember that the 8 hours working day, remember that over time, pension, increase in salaries, didn't and wasn't given by the politicians or the business community. It's the trade union movement coming together, going back to Butler, Cipriani, Renzi, and all these famous leaders and them who sit down and fought for the right for workers to be treated with decency, for our women folks to be respected. What kind of society that we have when we have so many young women who are working in casinos, who don't have $1 to pay their rent or to put food on their children, and this government still don't want to open the casino. And you know what is amazing? In the United States they open it. In the United States they open it, you know. The same United States that if they cough, we just get the cold. So this government is very selective. We in the trade union movement call on the government to study those single mothers, those young women who have worked for more than 22 months, who don't have no other means of income. We call on you to have a heart and open the casino, brothers and sisters. That is what we are demanding. We in the trade union movement say no to mandatory vaccination. We say vaccination must be a personal choice and right. And we have no issue if anybody decides on their own that they want to take the vaccination, because that is your rights. That is democracy. But when you tell me, if I take the vaccination, you can't get work or you will get paid, we say that is a criminal act. And we calling on the police to lock up all the companies that is forcing workers on them to take the vaccination to get paid. Brothers and sisters, as I say, the police tell me how to put the mask right on, so my voice is what I take. And we in the trade union movement, we are law-abiding citizens. But we will stand up and die for our rights. We would not let our mouth be muscled. You understand? Because we continue to say the trade union movement is the voice of the voiceless. The trade union movement is the only organization that has the moral responsibility to talk in defense of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this march is about this today, brothers and sisters. We call on you to prepare, 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 to prepare. Look at the Orico. Look at Orico. Black, 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 but white inside. So you have to leave them alone. You have to leave them alone, brothers and sisters. Alright? Because he is one of the fellas that say, Massa, your head out in here. Let me head with me too now for you. You understand? So you have to understand them fellas, and you have to sympathize with them because they do not know better. But those who are educated, that is why we are out here. Because we are educated, we have knowledge, and we will not be fooled. So we will come out and raise our voices in defense of our women folk, in defense of those single mothers and our parents, in defense of all those who are sent home and the employers did not pay them while they were on the lockdown and the government haven't paid them yet. Right? Those parents, those children who are suffering, those parents who don't have money to buy school books. Right? That is what this march is all about, brothers and sisters. As we continue this journey, this is a journey for the trade union leaders today. Because,
comrades all, on behalf of the three federations of trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago, the Joint Trade Union Movement, National Trade Union Center, and the Federation of Independent Trade Unions and NGOs, I would like to thank you for your support of Freedom Day. This was just the beginning. Thank you for amplifying Freedom Day. Thank you for liking, for sharing. Thank you for adding your voice to this very historic event. They try to silence the working class. They try to silence the trade union movement, but they have failed. The trade union movement is still a force to be reckoned with. The action would not have been successful without your support on social media. It's the same working class struggle, but it's just on a different battlefield. However, do not worry, comrades. You will soon join us in the streets, because together we will continue to unite to fight for a better Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, comrades.